Hey, how's it going? DT here. In an effort to be a little bit more diversified with our content here in the second draft, I'm going to do a beer review that's something a little bit different. It's going to be a Japanese beer, which I just recently discovered by checking out my local liquor store. And it's from a brewery called Kiuchi Brewery from Naka, Japan. Welcome back to the second draft. So this particular ale is called the Kiuchi Brewery Commemorative Ale. Again, Kiuchi Brewery started in 1823 in Naka, Japan. They were originally brewing sake and sochu, which is a distilled Japanese liquor which is made from like sweet potatoes, barley, and any number of other ingredients. It's often mistakenly called the Japanese vodka. Not entirely true. Anyway, they didn't start making beer until 1996, because in 1994 what happened in Japan was a massive relaxation of some super strict taxation laws, which meant that any brewery that wanted to apply for a license had to be producing like 528,000 gallons of beer per year, which effectively meant there was literally no craft brewing industry in Japan until 1994. So Kiuchi started brewing in 1996, and this is actually one of the more popular ales. It says it's a festive ale brewed with vanilla beans, spices, coriander, which is of course cilantro, orange peel, nutmeg, and cinnamon. It's got 8% ACL, alcohol by volume, which means Kiuchi, you ain't messing around. So while I pop this open, a little bit more information about Japan. Since the 1994 relaxation of the taxation laws, the microbrewing industry in Japan has kind of exploded. Just to give you some perspective, they now have over 200 microbreweries versus Colorado, which many people consider to be the microbrewery sort of mecca of the world, which only has about 130. So Japan is really into beer right now, and for good reason, because apparently Kiuchi Brewery makes some really good stuff. We're about to find out if that's true. Okay, so the Kiuchi Commemorative Ale has just about a half a finger of white soft head. It's got a really, really thick, hazy sort of orangey / caramel color to it. Really pretty. Not really like anything I've seen recently. Typically you see this sort of color with like Scottish ales or even darker IPAs, but never this hazy. Ooh, you can smell that 8% ABV right off the bat. Definitely got that little nip of that coriander, that cilantro. You definitely smell that orange peel there. Alright, let's dive right in. Ooh. There's some alcohol in this beer, folks. Coriander for sure. If you've seen my review for the New Belgium White Fat Tire, the White Belgian Ale, the main ingredient with that is coriander as well, and you can definitely taste that sort of crispness. If you ever made some Mexican food with a whole bunch of cilantro, you know that sort of little bit of a bite. Not like a spiciness, maybe a spiciness, but not like any heat, just sort of like a really crisp, clean flavor to it. This is very prevalent in this beer. Nutmeg and cinnamon are very high up there. It almost sort of tastes like alcoholic raisins in a way, if that makes sense. Very, very good beer. Yeah, I'm very impressed. The presentation's great. Carbonation is spot on. I wish there was just a little bit more head to it, a little more, wish there was a little bit more lacing in the glass. But otherwise, the presentation is great. The bottle is adorable, frankly. Their mascot being this cute little owl, which is also featured on their bottle caps. I might actually save that, that's pretty rad. So yeah, there you have it. I think if I had to give the beer an overall grade, I'd say probably about a 4 out of 5. The beer itself is actually very European tasting, and from what I understand, when the microbrewing industry kind of took Japan by storm, they really kind of looked to Europe to learn the techniques, and in many ways have learned to brew beer by learning from, you know, their far distant European, I won't say neighbors. I've heard that there's actually some combination of Japanese brewing techniques along with European brewing techniques, wherein Kiuchi actually will take their beers and actually age them in sochi barrels and stuff like that, which is really cool. So yeah, I've actually got another Kiuchi Brewing beer that I'm going to do a review of, but in the meantime, I'm going to finish this one because this is knocking my socks off. This is fantastic. Cheers. Arigato, Japan.